What's going on, folks? This is Courtney Rollins, CEO and Acquisition Manager at the Aqua Team. Today is our training at 4:30 every Thursday. We jump on with the team and we break down some part of our sales technique, sales skills, sales strategy to help us just get better and better at talking to folks. If it's your first time checking it out, this is probably on YouTube or one of our websites or wherever we repurpose this, just to let you know. What we do is we help people solve problems and create the opportunity for income and wealth, primarily through real estate. And we source deals. That's mainly what we do. We are deal sources. So our main form of sourcing deals is cold calling. That's how we market to folks. And we cold call and we lock up these deals at discounted prices. And to be able to do that, we have to get in front of a lot of people. Because the reality is many of the folks that are out there in the real estate world who can be served aren't necessarily going to sell their property at a discount, especially in this market we're in. This is 2022, April, no, it was March 2022. So a lot of the market right now in a lot of parts of the United States is very hot. And that's just the truth. We can't always get it at a discount. There are other tools in our toolbox that we can apply, even if folks want market value. But for us, primarily getting it at a discount is going to allow us to serve that seller well if they have major issues they need solved. So the two ways we target that is we go after distressed properties or sellers who have distressed issues, whether that's tenant issues, whether that's the house, there's a lot of things that we can do, and so we target those so that we can shrink and kind of have more of a sniper type approach to talking to sellers of properties or owners of properties. And our form of doing that, because there's a lot of ways to generate those leads, but our main way we do is we cold call, we talk to people, the tried and true method. Shout out to Brent Daniels, shout out to Max Maxwell, shout out to all those gurus out there who have just blessed us with free information. I was actually blessed enough to go through Brent Daniels' actual TTP program, Wholesaling Inc., several years ago, and it really just put the recipe together to allow me to see, okay, this is what the ingredients are. I got all from YouTube, but this is the actual recipe, and it's awesome. And I'm very excited, very, very privileged, and very grateful to have an awesome team joining us. And so today you're going to hear from different folks on the team, and I'll let them introduce themselves as they come into the space. But what we're going to do is first take a look at the script, and then we're going to actually hear role play from a couple of the folks that are on here. And then we're actually going to hear a live call and break it down for one of our team members. And then we're going to have a chance for one of our newest and youngest team members, the Aqua Team, to join us in practice. So let me give folks a chance to say hello and all that good stuff. So we got Brian Keith. How's it going, man? He's the acquisition manager here. Joined us for a couple of weeks, several weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. How you doing, man? Brian Keith must be got his computer on mute, the Zoom world. Well, he might be on mute right there, but let's go to, I feel nervous because, we're getting our voice and putting this stuff out in the world. And Rachel she consumes podcasts. She's like, Courtney, the flow when you introduce us, it got to get a little better. So that's why I always get a little nervous, but it's feels so natural sometimes. But Rachel, how are you doing? Our lead manager, the quarterback, the one who holds us together. How you doing, Rachel?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Awesome. And since we wait, Brian, hey, Mr. Quentin, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm blessed, man. I'm feeling magnetic, feeling just grateful and full of life, man. Heck yeah. So I don't know if Brian's back on there with us or not, but we're gonna keep rocking and rolling though. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen because I hope I'm recording. And we're just gonna go briefly over the different parts of the sales script. Now, this script was pulled from last couple of years, different experiences that we've had. A lot of it comes from, shout out to Todd Toback, who's an amazing wholesaling or wholesaler and sales negotiation coach. Also Steve Trang. Also it really pulls from the Sandler method of selling. And Sandler has a specific flow. I forget Sandler's first name, but it's pretty classic now. But when he came in, his method of selling was very disruptive. It wasn't hey, how you doing? Let me get you to say yes type of way. It really was, hey, let's all get on the seller side. Let's all get shoulder to shoulder instead of face to face, and really come in as consultants, really come in helping set the stage and helping us walk the seller through the process. This is kind of odd, I was saying sellers, because for us in wholesaling and real estate, the seller technically is the buyer. We're like selling them the right to sell their property to us, you know. So it's maybe sounding weird if folks aren't coming from this world, but here it is, though. It is what it is. So the 7 parts, very briefly, is when you set it out, you're starting off with disrupting that pattern. When people answer the phone, they're so used to hearing salesman-y type conversations that we really want to disrupt, and we have a specific way of doing that with our introduction and our value proposal right at the beginning. And then what's really cool about humans is that we really need and like framework. We like boundaries. So when you at the second stage, you set the stage and set the expectations of what the conversation is going to be like, it allows you all to know what game you're playing and know what the rules of the game are. So like, imagine playing Monopoly and not knowing the rules of the game, or playing spades and not knowing the rules of the game. It can be extremely frustrating, right? So I think, is somebody trying to jump in? Let me let him, there it is. Oh, boom. So understand the rules of the game by setting the expectations, and that can happen throughout the conversation at multiple times, allows us to play the game, right? And throughout the process, I like, somebody might need to be muted. Let's see. Might need to mute yourself, Rachel. I want to mute you because then it might not let you come back. There, perfect. There it is. All right. So throughout the process, we really rely on qualifying the leads by discovering information from them, by asking some really powerful questions, framing some really active listening. And we use the method of CPR time, as we're talking about. That's condition of the property, the price that the seller's looking for, the reason that they're selling, which is most important, and their timeline. So saying CPR time really helps us, remember that. And that's where the bulk of a lot of the conversation is. And in that CPR time, you're really trying to seek, is there a problem that you have? Some of our sellers either don't want to reveal that because they hold their cards to the hand. We're calling them out of the blue, right? So they want to either hold the cards close to their hand, or they might not even be aware that they have a problem, especially if they think their property maybe is worth $300,000 when it has like holes in the roof and it's in a neighborhood where the closest sale was like 50,000. It's like, it might not have what you need value, but there's a way of, in a kind, active listening, respectful way, helping them see, oh, actually this is a problem or issue. And before we try to resolve the problem and like go, hey, we can solve this, we need to help the seller recognize the impact of the pain, and then and only then do we say, okay, this is, now that this pain or this problem is here, and I'm hearing you and I'm listening to you and I'm affirming and confirming what you're saying, based on our understanding, based on our knowledge, here's some steps that we may be able to take to alleviate that pain. And then also, what's so important that maybe it's not just number 6, it's throughout, is finding the deal breakers. A lot of, especially when we first start out, really want that sale, so that contract so bad that we're scared to ask, are there any other people making the decision? Or what if I offer you this, are you going to go back and shop the deal around? Or trying to find out what are the issues going to stop them from moving forward with us. But it's very important to ask that. Not only does it help us save time when deals can get all the way to the closing line and then something happens, but it also allows us to establish strategic authority that's not like, overbearing, but it helps us build competency. And then it's always, the close, whether that's the close of the sale or handing it off to the next step, which circles back to setting the expectations, really. Okay, this is the next step. You're going to go and talk to your mom about this, and we're going to meet later on today at 5 to continue this conversation. Or, all right, I'm going to have you connect with the acquisition manager tomorrow, and we'll move forward, or whatever that is. All right, I'm about to send over the paperwork now. We're going to go through it so that we can move forward. Whatever it is, you want to make sure that those are the parts that you have that expectation set right there. So yeah, I can hear me babbling about the script like a mug, but let's actually rock and roll and try to go through it. This is pretty much we can memorize all day long, which is very, very important. The more you memorize it, the more it will become internalized. But I would love to see if, since you've got to watch the video, and this sales training kind of serves as onboarding for Quentin as well. And it's great for us to have a reminder as well. We always constantly go back to this, but would Rachel or Keith, would any of you all want to jump in and do a little role play where we get to have Quentin get to hear what it sounds like?
Sure, I'm game. I'm not sure who, I'm trying not to sound rude. I'm not sure who Keith is.
Oh, Brian, my bad. Brian Keith. Brian goes by Keith as well. Brian Keith, my bad.
Oh, okay. So it was a real question. It was literally a question. And so thank you.
Brian Keith Seymour, yeah. But we've been calling him Brian. Yeah, we went to Carolina together, and when we first connected, his yeah, my bad. So I don't know, is Brian still on there? Or maybe he had to pull away. Brian, are you there? All right, rates. It looks like it's gonna be you and me. You want to be the seller or the buyer?
Seller.
All right, awesome. All right, so I'll call ring and get us going. Okay, so ready? Ring.
Hello.
Hey, Rachel, how's it going? This is Courtney from Aqua Team. I know I'm calling a little out of the blue here, but I'm calling about a property I think you own at 412 Main Street. Yeah, I'll just calling to see if you consider selling that property there.
Yes, that was a lot of questions. I do own it. No, I do not know who you are.
Gotcha.
But you said you wanted to know if I wanted to sell.
Right. Yeah, I want to see if you're interested in selling the property there. Yeah, like I said, I know I'm calling you out of the blue, but I'm Courtney from the Aqua Team, and just calling people in the area. We're trying to buy properties in the area. Is this a bad time?
No, it's a good time as any. So say perhaps I might be interested in selling that property. What kind of a proposition do you have? Like, why are you interested?
Great. Well, that's a really good question. We're trying to buy properties in that area. And I guess I can tell you a little bit how we work so you can see if, I don't want to waste your time at all, but just let you know what our process is like, and then we can maybe decide if we want to move forward, if that works.
Okay, that sounds good.
Awesome. Well, we base our offers off of the condition of the property, the market value, and your seller's the situation. So my job here is to really get as much information as I can to see if it's even a property that's something that we want to buy. So if that makes sense, what can you tell me about the condition of the property?
It's in pretty good shape. My cousin's there right now. It used to be my grandma's, but it's in my name. She passed several years ago, but it's it needs some work, but I guess I would call it livable, obviously, because I do have that family member there.
Gotcha. You said livable?
Yes.
Cool. So, okay. So livable. So what if we were buying it, and I guess if we had like what would you think we would need to put the money towards, I guess is the question I'm asking. If we were.
Yeah, I've actually thought about that a bit myself, because I've been considering doing, different things, renting it out or what have you, but It definitely needs new windows. They're hard to open and close.
Okay.
The roof is pretty new, about 10 years old, so it's still definitely in decent shape, but right now I would do the windows, and then I would look at the sump pump in the basement, because sometimes it does flood.
You got a little one back there. Hey, little one.
I do. Yeah. He needs help with his Legos at the moment.
Okay. So you saying the sump pump the flood? Were you? I guess you're thinking like you were thinking about doing it yourself and all. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I guess I was. I was thinking about doing it or getting it done. So I guess it would have been myself. Correct.
Gotcha. Well.
I'm sorry.
He said, "Oh, no problem at all." He sounded like he didn't get his Lego like he needed or wanted.
No, he didn't like where I put it.
Oh man.
I'm sorry, Mr. Courtney. Thank you for your understanding, but But yeah, that it would be those two things.
I got you. All right. So if you were thinking about putting it together, we do have this is what we do. So I have contractors if you wanted us to send recommendations over, or like if that may be something to think about, if you want.
I thought you said you wanted to buy it.
Oh yeah, we're definitely interested in buying, but like we really don't try to force things. If the situation means that it's better for you to keep it, there's nothing wrong with that. As long as we're putting out and adding value, it always comes back to us. But yeah, if you're interested in that, we definitely can connect you with folks. And of course, we can still continue to have the conversation about us buying it and all. Well, let me ask you, I know, again, I called you out of the blue, but let's say we did agree on terms and we could take the property as is and you don't have to fix all that up. Do you have an idea of what timeline? I know you have a cousin in there. What's your timeline?
They're moving back home to New York soon. So they are paying a little bit. So I guess once that cash flow is done, it's going to be in about 60 days. I'd like to have it wrapped up within about 3 months.
Oh, okay. 3 months. You said they're moving back home to where? I didn't catch that.
New York.
Oh, New York, city of dreams. Okay. All right. You got your cousins paying? They're paying? Oh, what are they paying?
400. It's just something small.
400. Keep it in the family. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now, do you have any idea how much rent would be over there, Ms. Rachel? If like you were just renting to just a traditional tenant, I guess.
I think one of my neighbors on the block is renting their home out for about $950 a month.
Gotcha. Okay. So you get that cash flow, and you're thinking 3 months if we can agree on the price. All right. And I guess question, what would you? Again, I'm not gonna hold you to it because, like I said, I just called you out of the blue. But what would you want? What do you think would be a reasonable price, or at least somewhere we can start talking?
Do you have any information there about how big it is, or should I just kind of give you the whole rundown, or what?
Yeah, sure. If you can let me know, the more information I have, the more I can take back to my team and make a, informed.
Oh, okay, understood.
Great.
Well, it's 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, and it's of a decent size. It has a nice yard and a garage that's detached and in the backyard.
Gotcha. So, were your cousins going to already move out in 3 months, or were you just like?
Yeah, they were moving out, and they're moving back to New York in the next 2 months. They were already getting ready to leave. So you called it a pretty good time because I was just pricing either fixing it up and renting it out officially or some other option.
Hey, renting it out would be pretty awesome. That's pretty much what we would try to do. We like to hold on to our properties mostly. So yeah. So I guess what would be the next step, I guess, for us if you were thinking about
if you're asking would I be interested in selling, I'd be yes, but I don't know what the next step is.
I got you. Well, this looks like something that might be, might fit our criteria. And I'm looking at some of the comparable sales over there and just thinking briefly about how much you think it need to be put in there. Do you think, what about 25,000 would get it back up, or am I going too low? Or you think it needs more? Or?
Well, it depends. That would definitely get it to be nice, but if you wanted to upgrade some surfaces or what have you, the kitchen's real plain Jane. It's clean, but it definitely has linoleum on the floors.
So a little updating in the kitchen. And probably what about the bathrooms? Do they look? They have the I can't even say that word.
Linoleum. Yes, they also have that.
Okay, it's kitchen and bath, so that's probably.
So it's clean. It's just not modern.
I believe that. Yeah, what we usually do is we go in and we try to fix it up the whole nine, even if it's something we're going to keep as a rental. It helps us get the most value out, and whoever the tenant we put in there, if we do rent it, they seem to want to respect it more and allows us frankly to rent it out at a premium. So So I guess if I'm seeing properties over there, it looks like the one on 127 Main Street. It looks all fixed up, and it's sold for, was it 172 in April, or in not April? Sorry, this past February.
Okay.
And I guess what would you, if we're gonna take it as is, knowing we need to put about 45 or 50 or whatever into it, what would be a price that you would, feel comfortable with?
Good question. I could definitely do 125,000.
125,000. All right. And I guess what's your next role? You get this money, your cousins move back to New York. What would you do with the 125, Rachel?
There's only about 10,000 left on the mortgage, and I'll pay that off, and then probably play Sally Mae.
So you got 10K off, and then you're gonna pay the rest of your student loans off?
Yes.
Yeah, you would be well ahead of most people in the United States, probably the world.
Yes, sir.
So this 115 or whatever it is after Uncle Sam takes his money out would go towards Sally Mae, back to Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, what I'll do next is my step now is to take this back to the team. Now, if I take it back to the team and they came back with something like we could do 80 or 90K, is that something you would think about, or?
If they're able to break down the reasoning, it's something that I would at least listen to their insights. But it's not anything that as of right now, I would consider.
I dig it. All right. Well, of course, I'm gonna try to get as much as I can qualified with the team. Obviously we're in it to make money, but we're not also in it to, we want everybody to be able to eat, everybody to win. So that's what I'll do. I'll take it back to my team. Is it all right if I give you a call back later around 7:00 today?
Sure, that works for me.
All right, cool. Well, please say my name. I'll text you when we get off. I'm Courtney from the Aqua Team. Please say my name, and and I'll try to get as close to that as I can. And all right, I'll talk to you a little bit later on.
All right, Mr. Courtney, thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, we were a nice seller there for me. Thank you, Rachel. Able to see. It still kind of sounded like a traditional call, but you appreciate that.
Oh, okay. I thought I gave you a little bit of a hard time.
Oh, heck yeah.
I pulled out my Greg acting skills. I'm gonna do something real fun. One.
We had a team member a while back get on here and cry. I don't know if that was real tears or not. Greg all up, yeah. Woo. Oh, that was funny, Rachel.
Yeah.
But any thoughts? What's your feedback? And then I'm asking Quentin what you heard, and if Brian's back on here, see what he heard.
I was going to break up my feedback between like me as an Aqua Team member and me as a seller, but I still think that it's the same. But I also think that it's usually the same feedback from me.
The speaking fast and not complete my sentence.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Do you have any agreement on that, Quentin? You don't have to pick a side. Just is that something that I'm just hyper aware of, or did you notice it as well? Was it disruptive for you?
It was. I wouldn't have called it more like him not completing the sentence. It was more like him. Yeah, it kind of just like changing it up in like the middle of it, like
yes,
like switching around an analogy. It was like you could have cut some of it short.
Yeah, I think I asked. I think what confuses is sometimes I'll need to just ask the question I'm going to ask and not add more to it. But at times I try to be very like the guy next door. I don't want to sound. I want to sound competent, but I don't want to sound too sharp. But if I keep asking a question and then add to it, it's kind of confusing. It comes out too when I'm talking to you all at meetings as well. It's that ADHD. So I appreciate it. I got to be hyper aware that I think breathing more would just allow me to just say what I need to say.
Ooh.
Like, or being mindful of my breathing. I'm breathing, of course, but be mindful of it. Appreciate that.
That's a great way. Sometimes we do need a tangible action to do for something that's
Right.
not at all like working on changing the pace of our speed or finishing. As Quentin said, like you would switch up analogies, yeah, trying to teach everybody how to. So what you go like? Wait, well, I know about learning how to fish, but what was that?
Right, that's funny, yeah, because then you're hanging on, and my brain has already gone on to whatever else I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I closed it off. I was listening to a recording myself the other day, and I was like, dude, you really do not finish your sentences, bro. But in my head, I'm finishing. Oh man, it's hard to know yourself. But that's why we do these things, man.
Yes.
I do like how that when I did ask the question, it was trying to lead us down a path and not reversal, because you didn't really try to take over the conversation, but usually, Quentin, we want the seller to be talking more. And the way you can do that is if they ask you a question, you always, respond, but then come back with an open-ended question that allows them to continue. So instead of, is your roof updated? Can you tell me about your roof? Or can you tell me about the condition of your property? Yeah. What else were you hearing, Quentin? Did you, I know you haven't had a chance to read the script too much, but anything you heard that just stand out to you just from a layman, I guess is probably the best way to describe it.
I mean, one thing I did like how you did, you wasn't exactly on script. You kind of like buried it up for yourself. And that's something I kind of did when I read through it. Like, I kind of made adjustments so I felt like it was more comfortable for me. And you did the same thing. And it was like just a good example.
Yeah, I think that's a great point because, I mean, the script is there and there's definitely phrases that are there on purpose, but real life, just like Mike Tyson says, when you get hit everyone has a plan until they get hit in the mouth. And so Rachel asked me questions that was like, oh, wait a second, that's not the next part of the script. So I couldn't go back. So being able to understand the essence of the sales process and where you're going is very very important. I appreciate you picking that up. Did we lose Brian? I think we lost Brian. He's probably on a call right now. But what we could do is listen to one of his short recordings, and then Quentin will put you in the hot spot. Yeah. All right, so let's. I'm gonna pull up one of the short recordings we have on.
My bad, Courtney. My office manager called me, so I was just finishing up the day.
Oh, that's no problem, man. We're gonna jump on one of your calls right now.
Yeah, no, that sounds great.
All right, so let's see.
I want you to call in and ask you a little bit. We're making prices based off the condition of the property larger, and I just didn't know if there was anything maybe we should know about.
Courtney, you want to pause it real quick? I can try.
I was trying to pause it. You said what now?
I was going to say I can try to decipher a little bit. I know you're probably having a little bit of a hard time here, and I know Rachel, you're probably not getting everything. But yeah, so when I called, I would say one of the things I try to do a lot, Quentin, is just try to use that inflection in your voice. Like, it always adds a little bit of uncertainty, like you're not entirely sure, throws them off balance, puts the guard down a little bit. But the first thing that he hit me with was, what's the price? What's the offer? So immediately I tried to let him know that, the way that we get to the offer is by the condition and try to get off of that. So I think that's probably about all that's happened in the conversation so far.
Now that's awesome. He said, hear that? I ain't doing no repairs. I'm selling it as is. We love to hear that.
We're looking to buy it as is. Hey, my name is Brian. A little bit of reaching out about your property on 8th Street. One to be considered an offer. Can I get it back? What door? Got a lower door. I'm sorry? You go around fast. When you say that first time? No, wait. Downside, one more time. You talking about the house property on Fan Street? Yeah, 1945. Yeah. Yes, sir. Well, I want you to call in and ask you a little bit. You know, we're making prices based off the condition of the property. The margin. I just didn't know if there was something that we should know about. Well, I got a guy coming around here. I ain't got to do a stone like this. I ain't doing no remodel. Yeah, no. We're looking to buy it as is. That's what I know. Got rid of 6 as is. Yeah. And so, I mean, for all cash as is offer. I don't care how you pay stuff. The cash that was site that you can come with a check, penny, dime, or nickel. All I got to do what I want. You know what I mean? I don't care you raise money. Go yeah, what is that you're looking for? 45 for that one? Yeah. Okay, look, let me go my number. You have any other properties? Just this one? Yeah, I got something on the side. I got to get the people. Let's say about it. What's the address on that?
I had to try.
Go for it. I love it.
Okay, let me give you 45 on this one. 45 on this, how quickly will you look in the phone? I'm going to get 45, bro. I know. Okay. Well, whatever is worth your time. I ain't no hurry. Whatever in that property as well, is it vacant? Huh? Is that property vacant right now? No, it's not. Okay. Is it a monthly? Yep. Okay. And how much are they paying in rent? They're paying $850. Okay. They only funded for 13 years. They've been there for 13 years. Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. It must be pretty good paying business then. I don't know nobody else. They're paying me my money. They're still there. Hey, that's all that really matters, right? Yeah. There we go. Okay. Well, look, what I want to do is go up to these numbers. The 45 is, a little bit higher than the property. Well, don't worry about it. I got something else for you. I'll call you. Well, no, I just wanted to see if that was.
Yeah, he hung up on me already.
Okay. What an interesting call. Woo! That almost sounds like us doing a role play and giving you a hard time on purpose. That was my first time.
Yeah, he was ready to go.
Salute, bro. He's a driver. That's the personality. He was just going.
Yeah.
And what I was saying is I should have stopped talking. Like when he was talking and he was trying to give me information. Like at the beginning, I don't know if you could hear, but he was having another conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
With somebody else. So I was just trying to wait. And then when he was talking, I should have shut up. Like he was talking and I was talking. I should have just shut up and listened.
Yeah, Rachel's like, yeah, Rachel, driver for sure. Yeah, what you thinking, Rachel? You?
It was okay. So the beginning confused me with the other conversation. With that said, At first, I wasn't sure if the guy was a driver or if he just completely was unable to hear that somebody else was still talking. Because at first he didn't seem like he was trying to be bossy or controlling.
He's super assertive, yeah.
Yeah. At first he just seemed like he was wanting to finish his sentence no matter who was finishing talking, or maybe he couldn't really hear a sense that you weren't finished your sentence. But eventually he did start to get maybe a little aggravated or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When we say driver, if folks are checking this out on YouTube or Quentin, that's like one of the personality types in the DISC assessment. And most drivers are like really like forceful, leading the conversation. And you want to let drivers drive. And just as, sometimes you can hit drivers back in the mouth with like some straightforwardness. And that's why I think Brian was quick with his, his conversation, but he still let him drive. I really saw a lot of reversals, controlling the conversation through asking questions and stuff. So that was really cool. Before I give a little bit more on feedback, because I do have a couple of points. Did you hear anything, Q, or what were some of your thoughts?
I noticed a lot of questions. He tried to keep the questions going every time, the conversation kind of like fell out of balance. And the guy, he was talking, he seemed to enjoy himself talking. So I feel like it was just one of those situations where you just gotta let somebody go ahead, because I don't even think you really asked him like go into detail about anything. He just went into it. So
yeah, right. He started vomiting. He started vomiting about, like, you just gave a little pause, and he started vomiting about 13 years and things of that nature. I do think there was one point, if I just give some points, when he said as is, like, that's definitely one of the things we do, but that's one of the ways you could hold back and say, okay, you want us to take it as is. All right, okay. Because later on, when we give our value, give it whatever, I can get our team to take it as is. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's something that we would do anyways, we want them to feel like they're buying, as opposed to, all right, we got you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's like.
So I thought you were gonna say kind of like picking the scab a little bit more, kind of seeing what he meant. Like, oh, so it's as is. So there's some things that are the matter with it. There's some renovation you don't want to do. Like he was saying, I'm not doing anything. Oh no, we'll do that. What was it that we would have to do? Maybe trying to use his words to get a little bit more information.
Well, I think that's a great point you make, but I think you could also do that without saying, oh no, we'll do that. Oh, as is, I got you. So it's a lot to be done. Can you tell me more about what needs to be done?
Yeah.
That needs. All right, okay.
I see what you mean.
Right. Yeah. Like today, I was on a call today, and the guy was trying to sell me on the point. I think I'm getting feedback.
Rachel, turn down your volume just a little bit. Oh.
He was trying to sell me that, hey, we got all this supplies, like his house is like almost hoarderish. It got tools and stuff all over the place. And from my understanding experience with like estate sales, sometimes you make less money organizing, cataloging, and putting all that. So it's a burden, but that's one of our values. So he was trying to say, hey, and y'all can take all this stuff that's in here. And I'm like, well, actually,
so we got to take all the stuff that's in there.
Exactly. So we got it. So I had to reverse it on him to say that and all. But then I was like, yeah, we can't. I talked to the team. We can take it as is, even though that's usually a normal part of our stuff. So we want to. Yeah. So I think I think we get the point. And then also
making it more of a value proposition. Like he's saying as is, but this is a value. The fact that we're buying it as is without all these renovations that you would have to do.
And I love the way you said that. And it shows, we're listening to you. We hear that you want us to take it as is, even though that's what we do anyway. We hear that you want to take it as is. All right. So I think we will be able to do that. We'll be able to do that. So we're like even hearing you. Also, I think it's because I do this all the time too, especially with drivers. And it's like, okay, I'm getting a little tired of them. You start asking a lot of yes and no's at the end. Like, but it was also like to get it out, like, some of them, how do you ask what the rent is without saying yes or no though? So maybe I'm being too on there, but there's maybe one or two in a row, yes or no questions that I thought maybe didn't have to be, but I saw myself sometimes in the like, yo, we just got to get this guy. Is this guy going to answer this guy? Because you don't tell him what was going to come out of his mouth. He seemed very unpredictable in my opinion. So I could see how that would grow, but I still, how that could happen.
And I knew he was gonna hang up on me. I didn't think it would be trying to push back on the price a little bit. I didn't know how much I was gonna be able to take him.
That was awesome. that was one of the dopest parts of the other. Like, you see that Q, like he wasn't afraid to say, all right, because you heard him earlier say, I know you're gonna take 45. I know it's gonna be 45. But he was like, okay, so that is kind of low for us. I mean, kind of high for us. So, and he still was like, hey, I'm setting the seeds or expectations that know that we may come back lower, because even though we have CPR, whatever price the seller says, and if you're one of our sellers out there, bless you, we love you. It really doesn't matter. Really, we want to know just to see. I don't even know why. I don't know why I don't know if it's because of the training I've gotten that we want to know, or if we just want to see what their range is or whatever. If they're just way out there, but really, as we continue to build rapport and continue to be like a doctor giving the prescription after asking a lot of questions, we might come at 10,000, and sellers have literally done that, where they will understand a price reduction of whatever, because there's always something, there's sometimes, not always, something hidden or a value proposition that we're really giving to them that they become aware of through our time with them. So when you hear the price, sometimes you got to go like that and be brave enough to ask that question, to plant the seed of, hey, we might be coming back lower. We got to make money.
I think as you were saying that, I think one of the reasons that we asked price or what you said, but also giving the seller an idea in their heads so that when we come with something, they already know whether or not like how they might feel about it. But also there might be the rare case where somebody wants a lot less than we would even say our ballpark is. So we never even, we always want to know, even if just for that rare case, say we're going to say, if they really push, we could say, yeah, 50 to 60,000, and knowing that, we might pay up to 70, might. But if they say, man, I really only need 52 because of blah, 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 blah. And can y'all, so we never want to say it first if we can avoid it.
And what's great is that the next call that I had was a guy who did that. Like he's an investor. He has ability. And I was trying, and I'd hit him with the, as is what you think. He's like, no, I'm not saying my price first. I'm not bending against myself. Like, you read a book too. So I respect that.
You read a book too.
You know what? Pace Morby has a great response that I need to practice more, because I can't really do it. But he says something like, all right, I understand you, Mr. Seller. But like, let me just say, if you were going to sell something on Craigslist, let's say you put your truck on Craigslist, would you just put it out there and say, give me a price? No, you happen to know. I'd much rather you tell me your price to see if we can work with you, because my price is I want to buy it for $1. But you hang up on me if I say that.
Yeah.
I need to practice that, because that sounds
using Bill Brent said the same. He's like, wouldn't it be weird if you went into Walmart and they didn't have prices for the item?
Yeah, that's
like,
yeah.
Like, you're selling me something. You should have an idea of what you want for it because you're selling it.
Right. I need to I'm going to practice that over and over, and
because I've heard that. I've heard both of those and did use it yesterday when I had the opportunity to. I need more practice.
You said it? You used it?
No, I did not. I said I've heard both of those stories, and given the opportunity to use it, I did not. Clearly,
I think I've frozen up a couple of times. I need to go ahead and take advantage of it. And like, hey, all they can do is just either hang up on you and we're back at square one. So don't be afraid, Courtney. I need to. All right. I like that. All right. Guess what time it is, QB?
Oh.
Who wants to be the buyer?
Oh, I didn't know if you were talking about me. QB, you talking about me, the quarterback, or Quentin Brown?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Quentin. Rachel is the QB, because the lead manager makes sure we get all the leads and stuff out there. We need to get her off that TC work, because that's anyway. We go into another rabbit hole, but
that's Monday's meeting.
Yeah, that's another man. But I was saying Quentin Brown. Quentin, you ready to role play, man?
Yeah, guess so.
Yeah, you got it, man. And we getting our reps in. So, Brian, how about you want to be the seller?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, gotcha. So I'm gonna just mute myself and stop the video so I can.
All right.
Hey, hello. Who is this?
Hi. Wait. Hi, Brian. I'm Quentin Brown with Aqua Team Properties. I know this is a bit out of the blue, but I'm calling about a property you got on 123 Main Street. I wanted to see if you consider an offer on the property there.
Yeah, I consider an offer. What's the offer?
Hold up. Very lost.
No problem. Just let them know if somebody does hit you with that. Just say, "Well, I'm here to get the information." That's always something you can fall back on. I'm just here to get the information and get it from my team, and then we can and hopefully my team get back to you. So is this is this a bad time, or start asking questions about the property? So you can always say, "Well, actually, my job." And man, Q, what you can really do sometimes as you get more reps in. Well, we'll talk about that, but you can really even leverage your age and you coming in as an intern and learning and growing. People are going to want that. They're going to appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
Give you some grace.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. All right, let's rock and roll. Let's try it again. You got this. Ain't no sweat, man. It's just us. It's no problem. Even if you mess up 3, 5, 10, 20 times in a row, it's all good. We just rocking.
You want to jump back in, or you want to start back over?
Let's start over.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, hello?
Hi, Brian. This is Quentin Brown with Aqua. Say my last name. This is Quentin with Aqua Team Properties. I know this call is a bit out of the blue, but I'm calling about a property you have on 123 Main Street. I wanted to see if you would consider offering a property there.
Yeah. What's your offer?
Well, I'm not here to really give you a number on that. I'm really here to get some information about the property. So, can you tell me anything about it?
Yeah. What do you want to know?
I mean, has it been renovated in the last 5 years? You know, the kitchen, the bathroom, anything like that?
Yeah, my wife had me do the kitchen and the bathroom right before we end up moving. So.
All right. So, how long ago was that? About a couple years ago?
Yeah, it's 3, 4 years ago.
3, 4 years ago. Okay. And any other work done? You know, anything to the roof, or anything to one of the bedrooms, something, anything like that?
Roof is about 10 years old, but nothing else really that we did. We didn't have time for anything else.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, I was looking at your property. So, can you tell me about it? Like, how many beds, how many baths?
Yeah, 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom.
Okay. And so, you said you would take an offer on the property right now, or you said you want to wait on that?
Yeah, I would, if the number was right. We're
If the number
renting it
was
out
right.
now. So, we would if the number was right, but we got renters in there, so we're not in any real hurry.
Okay. So you have renters in there. How much are they renting out for?
It's $12.50 a month.
$12.50 a month. That's good, actually. Really good. So I mean, maybe you don't even really want to sell it. You might just want to keep it and, maybe renovate it up a little bit so that you could move somebody else in there. Maybe even raise the rent a little bit. We can help with that too. I mean,
nah, it's some friends that we have in there, and we don't really want to raise the rent on them. We haven't raised the rent to Rob.
Okay, so, but you said you were looking to sell the house if it's the right price. So, do you know what that price would be? Could you give me like a ballpark of that?
Well, I think we owe 60 on it, and I want to walk away with something. So we would need at least probably 100 to actually sell it.
100. Okay. So how about I get that number to my team and I call you back tonight? Say about 7:00. Is that good?
That'd be around dinner time. You can give me a call tomorrow if you can do the 100, I guess.
Yeah, tomorrow works. I don't know if we can do the 100. That might be a little too high. I gotta check with my team. I don't really run the numbers, like I said. I was just giving some information, but we'll see what we can work with. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Talk to you tomorrow, and save my number under Quentin, property buyer or whatever you want to say. And I'll call you tomorrow. Okay.
Hey, sounds good. I appreciate it.
All right. Good day.
Hey.
That was so cool.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. What you thinking? How you feel, man? How you feel, Q?
I mean, like, it feels a little weird, but it's not nothing like too crazy. I mean, I feel because I'm technically a host. That's what my job is. So I'm a little used to this, but getting the script down and all that, it's just like knowing what to say and when to say it. But I'll get it with experience.
I don't know if they had you role play when you were a host or if you know this, but role playing is literally like 10 times more awkward in any conversation you could ever have with an actual person. Like, it is so much more awkward.
True.
But no, great job, man. Good job.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty awesome. Rachel, if you had any point, I can jump in with it. It doesn't matter.
I threw a couple things in the chat, but I wrote great throwaway. He definitely said, you know what, rent that thing out. And then he said, raise the rent. And I was like, oh, that's a new one. That was good. That was really good. He, as Courtney says, don't have seller's breath. So Quentin did a great job being clear and concise, but not sounding needy. In a good way, needy, not. Yeah. Sorry. And good job active listening. So you were repeating the last word or two words that the seller Brian said. So you said, 100,000. Right. Gotcha. It shows that you're thinking. It shows that you heard exactly what he says. So Brian can feel seen and heard and everything. And your personality shone through, and it was really good. It was really it was a positive quality. Sometimes somebody needs to learn the script so well the personality doesn't shine too much, because their personality is going to just steer everything other places. But you being you was a really good fit, and it was excellent job. 2 thumbs up from Rachel and Ebert.
Thank you.
Yeah, Rachel stole a lot of my points. That was great. Like, yeah, the active listening, like repeating what he was saying. I don't even know if that's in the technique script, but that mimicking was everything she just said. So I'm not going to repeat that. That was awesome. I like how you corrected yourself, which you just say you're Quentin, instead of Quentin Brown. Yeah, you did a throwaway. I'm like, damn, this boy do a throwaway. He do a mimicking or mirroring, I should say. And I love how you also was like, hey, I don't know if we can get 100. That's a little high for us, but we'll see what we can do for you, So you really took authority with the Columbo effect of like, well, just being frank and open with them. And that's what we really try to, you should be able to tell the seller exactly what you're doing and why you're doing it, because we're not hiding anything at all, but it's also, it helps you be authentic and not have to like feel like you're trying to do tricks and all. That was good stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff, man. Repetition, you're just gonna get more. I think that's all I really had. Yeah.
It's hard. I feel like it's harder to give feedback when you're actually doing the role playing.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think of anything that really stuck out. I think we all talk fast.
Yeah.
So slowing down, especially at the beginning, is really helpful, because not only does it make it seem like you're being thoughtful, but it gives you time to figure out what your next question, what your next follow-up is. And you do such a good job. Like, I'm being super intentional about talking slow.
Yeah, that's
like,
cool.
It gives you time to also show off your active listening, and you did a really good job of that. And like, not only the repeating that, but the gotcha. Like, it's so much different. And you will notice it when someone's not good on the phone. How much dead silence there is. It should kind of feel like a conversation, even if you're only listening like that. Yeah, those are huge. And I saw you with the phone. Like, I was on my call for an hour earlier, and I walked around this whole place. Like, when I'm really in it, I'm walking around, I'm doing all of this with my hands. Like, it's a real thing. So like really getting your groove, getting it. Like, yeah, it's real. Good job.
Yeah, man, Brent Daniels encourages us all to stand up too. And like, yeah, exactly. Because like, yeah, that when we in the right energy, the right vibration, it comes across. One thing
I can't sit down. I can't stay seated when I'm in the group. Like, I have to get up. When I'm really getting it, I have to get up and walk around.
Yeah, oh man, slipped what I was going to say. Something about just breathing. That's what I'm gonna take away from this again. I need to breathe more, and I think that might help you be able to slow down and be active listening too. But that's exciting. It's really exciting to see you take the script that you got, I think, yesterday, and be able to take this on. It's going to be awesome. Where where you go. We're going to work on also an objection that you might get that's going to be a great objection to get. I can't wait for you to get that. Is somebody maybe asking about your age and all that stuff. You don't sound too young to me, but they may ask about that, and that's going to be an awesome opportunity for you to like just let them know, yeah, I'm starting out, I'm working with the Aqua Team, and this is my role. And then you can always play the, not only that, you know, what Brian said, give grace, but it also is like, dang, this man is out here getting it, grinding. Oh, let me help him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's going to be awesome. And you can always, no, well, I'm not going too deep in other techniques. That was just awesome. Just good stuff.
I feel like all that stuff, I feel like, especially with like the age, especially when you get to like 2, 3, 4 conversation with somebody, that's when it really is going to like show up like that. That's why, you know, just trying to keep yourself in it. That's why I was trying to like, when I get a little about something, it's just trying to keep myself inside of me and make sure I don't, you know, turn into a salesperson and just sit there and like monotone.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Show yourself, be yourself out this bad boy. Absolutely, man.
Yeah. If you got to rely on falling back on yourself or falling back on the script, fall back on yourself. Right. Don't try to get to where the script is telling you. Do what you would do, and you'll get back to where you should be.
Absolutely. Yep. Well, folks, I'm super geeked and excited about where we going, and yeah, this gives me a lot right here. If you're out there in the YouTube, Instagram, or wherever this is posted world, y'all give a like and subscribe and tell Quentin how awesome he is. You see how dope Rachel and Brian is. We didn't get Rachel up here making calls, but trust me, she bad to the bone. She definitely brings herself to the you see that? I don't know if which screen shows up. I don't know which how it's edited, but I hope y'all see her. But yeah, I really appreciate you all. And yeah, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff that helps us get this information out. And if you got any critiques or feedback, we're definitely open. We got thick skin, and we'll try to incorporate it, or, you know, take it like a buffet, take it or leave it. But yeah, if anybody have any other feedback or stuff they want to say out there, you know, to the 2 subscribers. No, I'm kidding. We got 200 something. We going up there though. We doing it regardless. It don't matter.
It'll be years later when they go back and they see this and like, man, remember when they started off and they were in their room with the background, and now they out there with the mansions and the yachts and the beaches and the stuff.
Yep, we already there. You got to be there to become there first. Yep.
Our past selves are watching this video like, man, remember when we posted this?
About to make me tear up a little bit, man. Yep. If that's all, man, I'm about to jump off, walk my dog, and get back on these phones on IG Live in a little bit. Q, for your direction for tonight, I'll email it to you, but just continue to read over the script. And we don't have a time set up tomorrow, but you'll get the Go Giver tomorrow. You get the Intention Journal tomorrow. And something else I said, I can't remember what it is, but it's 3 things. And we'll be able to consume that. But yeah, thanks, everybody. Thank y'all.
Yeah,
Rising tides. Let's all say peace.